Hey, creative writing class. Didn't see you there. So this is my video essay. As you can tell by that terrible intro, I'm not really familiar with this. I don't usually do this for my classes. And I've never edited a video before, so hopefully I've learned how to do that when you're seeing this. But yeah, here we go. So I'm going to try to make this video as entertaining as possible. I'm not reading from a script, and hopefully with some editing magic I can make this actually entertaining, even if I don't go anywhere or interview anybody. But I still wanted to be something personal about my life, so I wanted to talk to you guys about why I chose to be a psychology major. But first, let me give you some background story about my life. After high school, I kind of had an inkling that I wanted to do psychology, but when I told my parents about it, there was some withdrawal for sure, because and they meant well, but especially my dad, he didn't think it was very lucrative, and he questioned me a lot of the way, but he was looking out, he was doing his thing. But anyways, I was kind of lost. So fast forward into my second semester at MCC, Blue Colts, for all those who went to MCC. But anyway, I went to my first intro psych class, and in walks the coolest professor there ever is. Every stereotype of the cool professor this guy had. He played jazz with his buddies on the weekend, told stories about doing crazy things when he was young, and he seemed pretty accomplished in the world of psychology, or pretty recognized, I guess. His name was Professor Gray. I thought he was recognized, I guess, at the time, but I did some research and I couldn't find him. But I know that he was legit. Anyways, one time he gave a lesson about something called volition control. Volition control is pretty basic, actually. All it is the definition of the cognitive process in which an individual decides to do something by taking an action. It's also known as purposive striving. It's kind of just having the will to do a certain something. The reason why this blew young Joey's mind is because he started talking about it in reference to controlling involuntary actions. A quick example is something that he gave, in which he talked about his elderly mother who had some kind of heart condition. Anyway, she started practicing with him, using mind concentration and certain exercises to actually control her own heart rate. Another example of volition control would be how Buddhist monks, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these videos, but sometimes they inflict great pain on themselves. But it doesn't look like they're in pain at all. And that's because, according to my professor, they're really not using this mind concentration. Basically, willing themselves to be numb and to feel no pain. Even going so far as to claiming that certain monks could stab themselves and not even bleed in certain areas because of this volition control. Now, for me, I found this super hard to believe. After I found out that this is what my professor researched and studied, I wanted to be this guy's like Padawan. There's a lot of depressing things in psychology that you learn and have to kind of analyze. But this was the most positive thing I've ever heard. The fact that you can will something and make it happen, that's amazing. It's literally mind over matter, but more like mind influences matter, if that makes any sense. But I was so fascinated by these things that I had to do my own research. So for the sake of the video, I found two different studies by the National Center of Biotechnology that showed real-life examples of this volition control. One of them, kind of like my professor's study, analyzed people's ability to control heart rate, and the other analyzed people's ability to control involuntary movements, kind of like things with Tourette's syndromes like tics and tremors. And in both cases, volition control with mind concentration was found to be able to control both of these things. And this is kind of just scratches the surface. I also did more research on that monk stuff that my professor was talking about, and I know I said I wasn't going to look at a script, but this name is impossible, so I'm going to put it up here for the video, but it's Ven Sayadaw Usalanda. I'm going to pretend that I totally didn't butcher that name, but he made a book called Volition, an introduction to the law of karma. And it's all about just the will to do certain things, and how that's a law in the universe, that if there's a will, there is a way to do something. And if there's anyone in the class that's kind of skeptical of that, this isn't just some whack job. He's actually a super honored monk who has tons of different achievements and is looked to as a leader, actually, or was. He passed away, but I'm gonna put some of his information here. And everything, by the way, the studies that I referenced and this man's life and book, I will reference in the blog or something where you guys can find it. But for the sake of making this video 3 to 4 minutes, I'm going to stop right here. I could honestly go on and on about volition control. It's something that I find incredibly interesting, and hopefully you guys do too. A couple quick fun facts about volition control. It's theoretically what secret agents use to make their job a little bit easier. Sometimes they slow their heart rate to be more quiet, or they enter REM sleep just to gain a couple more hours of rest. And this is all something that can be done with mind concentration. It's something I want to do more research in when I go to grad school, and seeing as we really don't know that much about it yet, and what we know about the brain is what scientists knew about the heart like hundreds of years ago. We really do have a lot to learn. But in short, I think it's pretty amazing that we can will our body to do something and to change just to get ready for a certain situation. That's something I think was pretty incredible, and it's what made me become a psych major. Hopefully I get a chance to study it more, and I hope you guys were entertained by this video. In any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in class.